Are you ready to embark on a journey to discover the secrets of winning your furry friend's heart? Your furry friend is there for you as part of your life, but for him, you are there his whole life, so make it his best life. Dogs, those extraordinary creatures who touch our souls in no way other beings can, deserve all the love and affection we can give. But how do we reciprocate that love and ensure our furry friends know just how much we adore them? Well, Mr. Science has told us that by understanding the inner workings of their minds and tapping into their natural instincts, we can unlock the secret code to their hearts. So, we fetch the most scientifically backed methods to embark on this awesome adventure in winning your dog's love and devotion. In this comprehensive video guide, we'll unveil not just one or two, but 12 scientific ways to get your dog to love you the most. According to the surveys conducted by the American Kennel Club (AKC) and the American Society for the Prevention for Cruelty to Animals (ASPCA), dogs thrive on companionship and attention from their owners. Engaging in activities such as daily walks, playtime, training sessions, and cuddling can help create a sense of trust and affection between you and your dog. The way our pets respond to this behavior suggests that dogs feel love too. Phil Tedeschi, a University of Denver researcher and member of Rover's Dog People Panel, says that dogs will wait for the opportunity to make eye contact with their humans. Previous research has shown that some dogs also express empathy when they think their owners are in distress or stressed. It's like their lifeblood, you know? So, to keep your furry friend happy and fulfilled, it's important to set aside some dedicated time each day to engage in activities that they truly enjoy. Think of it as their version of a daily dose of fun and excitement. A study published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science examined the effects of different training methods on the human-to-dog relationship. The researchers found that dogs trained using positive reinforcement techniques showed more positive interactions with their owners compared to those trained using aversive methods. This suggests that using rewards and positive reinforcement can foster a stronger bond between dogs and their owners. Imagine embarking on a journey where you hold the key to your dog's heart, armed with an arsenal of delectable treats and an endless supply of belly rubs. With reward-based training, you become the master of motivation, using positive reinforcement to guide your four-legged companion towards becoming the best version of themselves. The cornerstone of reward-based training lies in its ability to tap into a dog's innate desire for pleasure and connection. Stay on the ball! Canine companions are big fans of routine and consistency. It's like their daily dose of kibble. So make sure to set up clear guidelines and boundaries for your furry friend, and stick to them like a dog with a bone. This will give your pup a sense of security and help them understand what you're barking at. Remember, being consistent is the key to keeping tails wagging. In 1998, Beard et al. Exposed 10 dogs to certain stimuli perceived as potentially stressful. This included loud noises and novel stimuli. Based on the physiological responses of the dogs to the stimuli, those that itched a stress response correlated with certain behavioral responses. These included trembling at the body, snout licking, and yawning. Dogs are not just adorable creatures who love to cuddle and play fetch. They also have a complex mental world that needs to be stimulated, just like humans. Dogs can get bored and stressed if they don't have enough mental stimulation in their lives. And let's face it, a bored or stressed dog is not a happy dog. If you're looking for a more interactive approach, consider playing games with your furry pal. Hide and seek is always a hit, as dogs love using their noses to track down hidden treasures. Or you! You can also try our interactive toys that require your dog to figure out how to access traits or make them squeak. It's like a game of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for dogs, except the prize is a tasty treat instead of cold hard cash. Regular exercise is essential for maintaining a dog's overall fitness and promoting their mental happiness. Just like humans, dogs need to stay active to keep their bodies in tip-top shape and their minds sharp as a tack. So, make sure you don't let your dog become a couch potato. If walking isn't your cup of tea, fear not. There are plenty of other activities you can do with your dog to keep them active and entertained. One classic game that never fails to get tails wagging is fetch. Grab a ball or a frisbee, find an open space, and watch as your pup chases after it with unbridled enthusiasm. It's a win-win situation. They get to burn off energy, and you get to witness their adorable antics. Canine companions have an uncanny ability to sniff out their human emotional state. So, if you want your dog to feel like they're barking up the right tree, it's time to channel your inner calmness guru. By keeping your cool and maintaining a cub-posed demeanor, You'll help your four-legged buddy feel more at ease and secure in your presence. Remember, when life gets rough, just take a deep breath and let the good vibes flow. Similar to how we might retreat to our bedrooms or find a quiet corner to unwind, dogs also seek out their own space when they feel the need. This could be a cozy dog bed, a designated area in the house, or even a favorite spot in the backyard. It's essential to provide them with a safe and comfortable space where they can retreat whenever they desire. However, it's important to note that respecting personal space doesn't mean neglecting your dog or ignoring their needs for social interaction and companionship. Dogs are social animals and thrive in human interaction and bonding. It's all about finding the right balance between giving them space when they need it and providing them with love, attention, and companionship when appropriate. Based on a study published in the journal Animal Cognition, it investigated the ability of dogs to understand human communicative cues. The researchers found that dogs can follow human pointing gestures, indicating their understanding of human communication. This ability to comprehend human cues enhances the level of cooperation and mutual understanding between dogs and their owners, ultimately contributing to a stronger bond. In order to become fluent in the language of your canine companion, it's essential to familiarize yourself with the various signals they employ. Pay close attention to their tail position. A wagging tail held high signifies confidence and happiness, while a low or tucked tail may indicate fear or submission. Similarly, observe their ears. Erect ears denote attentiveness and curiosity, while flattened ears suggest anxiety or aggression. Additionally, take note of their overall posture. A relaxed body with loose movements indicates contentment, whereas a stiff or tense stance may signify discomfort or aggression. A study published in the journal Anthrozoos investigated the effects of different types of social interaction on the human-dog bond. The researchers found that engaging in activities that involved physical contact, such as petting or grooming, led to increased oxytocin levels in both humans and dogs. Oxytocin is often referred to as the love hormone and is associated with feelings of bonding and attachment. Oh wait, there's more! Physical touch is another way to strengthen that bond. Imagine yourself gently petting your dog's soft fur, giving them little scratches behind the ears or belly rubs that make their tail wag uncontrollably. It's like hitting the jackpot of affection. And let's not forget about massages. Yes, you heard that right. Just like humans, dogs can benefit from a relaxing massage too. So why not become their personal masseuse? Knead those muscles and watch as your dog melts into a puddle of pure bliss. Grooming and physical touch are not just mundane tasks. They are opportunities for you to create an unbreakable bond with your four-legged companion. So grab that brush, run that bathwater, and get ready to unleash the power of touch. Dogs, being social animals, require a secure and comfortable space in order to feel at ease and truly thrive. Just like humans, they too need a place they can call their own, where they can relax, play, and unwind. It is essential for dog owners to ensure that their furry friends have a living environment that is clean, well-maintained, and free from potential hazards. In the realm of doggy delights, it is crucial to recognize the significance of a well-balanced diet in ensuring your furry friends' overall health and happiness. Just as humans thrive in nutritious sustenance, our canine companions also benefit from a wholesome and nourishing menu. By offering a delectable array of healthy treats and providing them with a nutritionally balanced diet, you can contribute to their well-being while showcasing your unwavering care. The Human-Animal Bond Research Institute and Zoetis announced the results of a survey of 16,000 dogs and 1,200 veterinarians across 8 countries and 4 continents. The research shows that the human-animal bond is strong, that pets positively impact their owner's health, and that stronger bonds are connected to improved veterinary care around the world. So, embrace the quirks and unleash the loves. In the delightful world of human-dog relationships, building a strong bond requires a dash of patience, a sprinkle of understanding, and a generous serving of humor. Just like humans, every dog is a unique individual with their own quirks, needs, and preferences. Building a strong bond with your furry friend takes time. It's not just an overnight process. Just like any relationship, trust and understanding need to be nurtured over time. So be patient as you embark on this journey together. Allow your dog to adjust to their new environment at their own pace. Some may take longer than others to feel comfortable and secure in their surroundings. Give them the space they need while offering gentle reassurance along the way. There are many misconceptions about dogs. Surprisingly, the average dog owner gets quite a few facts wrong about dogs. And even worse, loads of misinformation gets passed around. So, how do you really know what's going on with your canine best friend? Is that wagging tail a sign of happiness? Does your dog really see in black and white? And are there different reasons for why dogs lick your hands, face, ears, feet, or legs? To help you get to know your pup better, we have debunked the most common dog myths that just aren't true. Many people consider some breeds to be more dangerous than others. This belief has led to the implementation of laws aimed at banning specific breeds, with pit bulls often finding themselves in the crosshairs. Pit bulls are one of the most common breeds considered dangerous. German Shepherds, Jack Russell Terriers, Collies, Chow Chows, and other breeds are often labeled as aggressive as well. But let's not throw them all in the doghouse just yet. Each individual pup is unique and should be judged based on their own behavior and upbringing. However, the American Veterinary Medical Association performed a peer-reviewed summary of current dog aggression studies. They found that the breed of a canine isn't linked to aggression or bite risk. The dog's training and socialization are some of the most critical factors involved. Let's not judge a book by its cover or a dog by its breed. To sum it up in a broad shell, breeding alone does not determine a dog's propensity for aggression or danger. It's all about how they are trained and socialized. So, instead of pointing fingers at specific breeds, let's focus on responsible pet ownership and ensuring that all dogs receive the love, care, and training they deserve. But their tails are wagging is a phrase that pet owners often use to gauge their furry friends' happiness. It's like a canine version of a smiley face. Tail wagging doesn't always indicate joy. It can be a sneaky signal of stress or anxiety in your beloved pooch. Even if the dog is acting aggressively otherwise, tail wagging is often considered a sign of happiness. Therefore, if a dog's tail is wagging, it must not be upset. However, this is not true in the least. Tail wagging is not always a sign of happiness. It can also be a sign that your dog is stressed or anxious. Imagine your furry friend finds themselves in a tense confrontation with another dog. You might expect them to be having a grand old time if their tail is wagging furiously, right? Well, hold your biscuits. In this situation, tail wagging can actually be a sign of discomfort or unease. It's like when you force a smile at an awkward family gathering. It doesn't necessarily mean you're having a blast. Dogs are colorblind is a myth everyone throws around without a second thought. And if you're one of the people who have partaken in this practice, I hate to break it to you, but it's a myth. Dogs aren't colorblind in the truest sense of the word. While it is true that dogs see fewer colors than us, they can differentiate between two of the three primary colors. Their retinas have two of the three photoreceptors necessary to see different colors. This means they can see color, albeit a little differently from us. While dogs have fewer color receptors in the eye than humans do, they are still capable of perceiving grays, blues, and yellows. They certainly do not see the world in black and white. Just because dogs don't see the world in all its colorful glory doesn't mean they can't appreciate its beauty. In fact, their visual system is finely tuned to detect motion and contrast. This means that while they may not be able to appreciate the subtle nuances of a rainbow, they excel at spotting movement and differentiating between objects based on their brightness and contrast. So, the next time you throw a colorful ball for your furry friend, remember that they may not see it in the same vibrant hues as you do, but rest assured, they can still see it and chase after it with all their doggy enthusiasm. There is a common misconception that one dog ear is equal to 7 human ears. However, that is not true in the least. Different dog breeds have different lifespans, which means that they age differently as well. Dogs don't even age at the same rate as people. For instance, bigger dogs often hit maturity later. However, they also live a shorter period. Their lifespan is not congruent with people in the least. This theory likely came about by someone taking the average dog lifespan and comparing it to human ears. Humans live about 70 times longer than dogs. A dog's lifespan can vary so widely that this isn't accurate in the least. It may work for some dogs, but this theory is inaccurate for the most part. Your best bet is to look at your dog's growth cycle and not compare their lifespan artificially to people. My dear inquisitive human, remember this: there is no universal formula for converting dog ears into human ears. Each dog breed has its own unique timeline of growth and aging. It's like trying to fit a Great Dane into a Chihuahua-sized sweater. It just doesn't work. Yes, dogs will lick you to show their affection, giving you kisses, but there are several other reasons you could end up with a slobbery face or hand. Slobbery face or hand. Studies have shown that licking releases endorphins in a dog's brain. Endorphins make dogs and us feel calmer and more relaxed. This then leads to a release of dopamine, another neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. There are many things that dogs lick, some more repulsive than others. So what does it mean when a dog licks you? Why do they lick your hands? Well, as you trot through the world, your hands gather an array of intriguing smells and delectable flavors that your furry friends just can't resist investigating once you return home. You might touch other people or animals, and you very likely touch food. Your hands become like a captivating roadmap for your pup, narrating the tale of your adventures, and they simply can't resist tasting and sniffing every destination your hands have encountered. And let's not forget about those sweaty palms. They leave behind a salty residue on your skin that is absolutely perfect for your doggo to savor. Why do they shower us with face licks? Apart from the fact that our faces are like a buffet of scents and flavors to them, this adorable behavior is actually deeply rooted in their instincts. Dogs lick each other's faces for mutual grooming, affection, and to communicate appeasement or harmlessness. Pet parents who love when their dogs lick them may also reinforce the behavior with their excited responses. Why do they lick your ears? Our dog may be licking your ears to taste them, keep them clean, or possibly to show you some extra love. The apocrine glands in your ear canals secrete a thick fluid that creates an odor when it mixes with the natural bacteria on your skin. Combined with the ceruminous glands, which create earwax, your ears offer a collection of enticing smells and tastes. Why do dogs have a penchant for licking your feet? All of those eerie glands on the soles of your feet create a lot of sweat, and that sweat creates a lot of salt. But it's not just the saltiness that attracts dogs to our feet. If you happen to be ticklish, the act of your dog licking your feet can turn into a playful between the two of you. The sensation of their wet tongue on your feet might make you smile or laugh, and this positive reaction can reinforce the behavior. Dogs are quick learners, and they soon realize that licking your feet gets them attention from you. This attention-seeking behavior can prolong the licking session and increase the likelihood of it happening again in the future, especially when your sockless feet make an appearance. Behaviorally, if your furry friend is constantly giving their tongue a workout in response to an event but just won't quit, it could be a sign of anxiety. It's like they're saying, "I'm feeling a bit rough right now." Excessive licking of a person might mean that your doggo isn't quite comfortable with that individual, and is either trying to positively soothe themselves, gather more intel, or politely ask the person to move away with their slobbery kisses. On the medical side of things, if your puppy is engaging in chronic licking, not just regular grooming, of a specific area on their body, it could be a clue that something is not quite right. It's like they're saying, "Hey human, I've got an itch that needs scratching." This persistent licking could be evidence of allergies, infections, or even pain. So it's important to pay attention and give them the proper care they need. And if you catch your four-legged friend licking everything in sight, from couches to rugs to floors, it might be an indication of gastrointestinal issues. They're basically saying, "I'm feeling a bit rough in my tummy." Dogs are fuzzy balls of energy. You'll see them dash like furry rockets, though sometimes they can be jumpy too, which makes them uncontrollable. Some are so chilled out, you just want to hang with them all day. But let's face it, there may be occasions when a dog's behavior becomes aggressive, leaving you scratching your head and wondering, what on earth should I do? Don't worry, for we have fetched some effective ways to help calm down your canine companion. It's time to put down those dog-owned worries aside and learn how to bring some peace and tranquility back into your pup's life. It's no secret that many excitable dogs could benefit from a little self-restraint. Just like humans, dogs can sometimes struggle with controlling their impulses, but fear not, we've got some awesome tips to help you out. First up, let's introduce the Say Hi command. Before petting your dog, it's important to establish some ground rules. Have your dog sit in and say the magical phrase, "Say hi." If your dog manages to resist the urge to jump up and shower you with slobbery kisses, go ahead and give them a well-deserved pat on the head and offer a tasty treat as a reward. This helps teach your pup that staying calm and composed leads to positive interactions. Next on our training agenda is teaching your dog to wait before diving into their food bowl like it's a bottomless pit of deliciousness. To achieve this, have your dog sit patiently while you lower their food halfway to the ground. If your furry friend starts making a mad dash for the food before you've given them the green light by saying okay, it's time to hit the reset button and start over. This exercise helps instill patience and self-control in your pup when it comes to mealtime manners. Now, let's tackle the ever-important leave it command. Let's say you're walking your dog in the park and they spot something intriguing on the ground, a discarded hot dog bun. To prevent any potential tummy troubles or unsavory snacking habits, it's crucial to teach your dog to leave tempting items alone. Hold a tasty treat in your closed hand, allowing your pup to catch a whiff of its tantalizing aroma without actually getting a bite. When you say leave it, and your dog successfully resists the urge to snatch the treat from your hand, shower them with praise and reward them with the treat. This exercise helps your dog understand that ignoring certain stimuli leads to positive reinforcement. According to the experts, our furry friends have the mind of a 2-year-old kid. That's right, canines are like little toddlers in terms of their mental abilities. And just like those tiny humans, dogs can also solve simple puzzles. So, if you've ever doubled your pup's intelligence, think again. To put your dog's puzzle-solving skills to the test, hide some tasty treats under the lids of a puzzle toy. You'll need to grab their attention by showing them the delicious food hidden beneath those tricky lids. Once they're focused and ready to go, it's time for a demonstration. Show your video how to manipulate the covers and reveal the hidden treasures within. It may take a few tries for them to catch on, but with a little patience and encouragement, they'll soon be solving puzzles like a pro. And hey, if it turns out to be too easy for your clever pooch, no worries. You can always adjust the difficulty level of the toy, or even upgrade to one that offers a higher challenge. Now, you might be wondering, why bother with all this puzzle-solving business? Well, my dear human, solving puzzles actually requires some serious brain power. Just like when you try to figure out why the mailman is so terrifying, or why squirrels seem to have an endless supply of acorns, your dog's brain gets a good workout when they tackle these mental challenges. And here's the best part, tiring out their brains with puzzle solving can actually help reduce your Fido's time spent worrying of being bored. A tired brain means less room for anxious thoughts and more room for tail-wagging fun. So keep those puzzle toys handy and watch as your furry friend stays entertained and mentally stimulated. However, it's important to note that some puzzles may have removable parts that could pose a choking hazard to your dog. So, as much as they may beg and give you those irresistible puppy eyes, never leave them alone with these toys. Safety first, my friend. Instead of chew toys, why not treat your furry friend to some edible delights? These tasty treats will not only tire them out, but also satisfy their hungry tummies. However, ordinary treats tend to disappear in a flash, so it's positively wise to opt for long-lasting options. For instance, you can try bully sticks or yak cheese. These chews will keep your Fido occupied for a woof-tastic amount of time. Not only will they provide entertainment, but they also serve as a positive outlet for any pent-up or nervous energy your pup may have. This can help calm their nerves and bring them a sense of tranquility. So, instead of just giving your pooch regular chew toys, consider these edible alternatives that will keep them engaged and satisfied for longer periods. They'll be wagging their tails with joy while enjoying these delightful treats. Make sure those barking dogs get their paws on some exercise. Sometimes, the best way to handle a dog with boundless energy is to let them unleash it through physical activity. If your furry friend is wreaking havoc at home, gnawing on furniture, leaping onto countertops, or nibbling on your favorite chews, it's a telltale sign they have an excessive pent-up energy that needs to be released. So, grab their leash and take them for a stroll or engage in some extra playtime to help bring down their stress level. In the world of dogs, exercise is like a magical potion that can transform even the most hyperactive pooch into a calm and contented companion. Just like humans, dogs need regular physical activity to maintain their overall well-being. It not only helps them burn off excess energy, but also keeps their muscles strong, joints healthy, and weight in check. Moreover, exercise is essential for mental stimulation, as it provides an outlet for their natural instincts and behaviors. If your dog has an insatiable appetite for playtime, engaging in interactive games can be a fantastic way to burn off that excess energy. Whether it's a game of fetch in the park or a spirited tug-of-war session in the backyard, these activities provide both mental and physical stimulation for your furry pal. Plus, they offer an opportunity for you to bond with your dog and strengthen your relationship through shared fun and laughter. Remember, when it comes to exercising hyper dogs, variety is the spice of life. Mixing up their routine with different activities and environments can keep them engaged and prevent boredom. Consider taking them to a dog-friendly beach for a swim, signing them up for agility classes, or setting up an obstacle course in your backyard. The key is to find activities that align with your dog's interests and abilities, ensuring they have a tail-wagging good time while getting their exercise fixed. Did you know that sniffing is like a magical potion that calms our furry friends? Studies have shown that when dogs indulge in a good sniffing session, their heart rate takes a plunge. And the more they sniff, the lower their heart rate gets. It's like they're on a sensational roller coaster ride to a relaxing town. Sniffing is an inbuilt mechanism for dogs to unwind and let go of their worries. It's like their very own version of meditation, helping them reduce anxiety and stress. So, next time you see your pup with their nose glued to the ground, they're not just searching for hidden treasures. They're actually sending out a signal that says, "Hey, I'm just chilling here, no trouble brewing." Whenever furry friends are feeling a bit rough, they might show it in some hilarious way. Anxious dogs can be quite rulers, turning your floor into a slobbery masterpiece. They may also pant heavily, as if they just finished a marathon chasing their own tail. And let's not forget about their pacing skills. Back and forth, like they're trying to find the answer to life's most puzzling question. Who's a good boy? But wait, there's more. Some dogs have mastered the art of winning when anxiety strikes. And if you spot a dog with its tail tucked between its legs, well, that's just their way of saying, "I'm feeling a little nervous here, human." And those ears? They might be pinned down like a fashion statement gone wrong. To help our furry pals find their inner zen, it's important to pay close attention to their body language. Just like deciphering a secret code, understanding their signals can help us react quickly and lend a helping paw. So next time when you see your pup drooling like a water fountain or pacing like they are training for the Doggy Olympics, remember to be there for them and provide the comfort they need. Dogs try to be our best friends, but we don't always make it easy for them. It's safe to say that most of us love our pets. We provide them with food, shelter, and plenty of love and attention. But even the best pet owners sometimes do things that their furry friends don't appreciate. Do you feel like your dog is always mad at you? It may not be entirely your fault. They are pretty laid back and casual, but you might have a stressed out best friend if you do any of these 13 things most dogs find annoying. We're most guilty of getting in a dog's face in personal space. Much like hugging, dogs tend to dislike it when humans get in their faces. Think about how it would make you feel. Avoid putting your hands in a dog's face. This is especially important if the dog does not know you well. So let's break it down and avoid committing these social fox paws when interacting with our four-legged pals. Keep those hands away from their precious faces. Dogs have sensitive snouts, and they might not appreciate a sudden invasion of their personal space by curious human fingers. It's like someone poking you in the nose out of nowhere. Not exactly the most enjoyable experience. Next up on our list of doggy no-nos is towering over them. Imagine you're a small creature and suddenly a giant being looms over you like a skyscraper. Intimidating, right? Well, dogs feel the same way when we stand tall above them. It can make them feel anxious or threatened, which is definitely not what we want during our interactions. So let's try to get down to their level and create a more comfortable atmosphere for both parties involved. Now, let's get down to their level literally. Instead of being the towering titan that sends shivers down their spines, or should I say fur, let's crouch down and meet them eye to eye. By doing so, we are sending them the message that we come in peace and are ready to engage in some tail-wagging fun. Just as hugging can sometimes be a bit too close for comfort, our furry friends also tend to dislike it when we invade their personal bubble. It's all about empathy, my dear human companions. Imagine how you would feel if someone suddenly got all up in your face without warning. Not the most pleasant sensation, isn't it? If you're wondering if your dog hates your hugs, pay attention to her body language. When you go in for a cuddle, does she tense up, lean her head away from you, avoid eye contact, lick her lips, keep her mouth closed, pull her ears back against her head? All of these are signs that a dog is uncomfortable. Many dogs will tolerate it with grace, but some dogs will feel threatened, fearful, or angry. And keep in mind that the same dog that enjoys one person's hug might react entirely differently with another family member who tries the same thing. Dogs might be able to deduce the meaning of a few keywords like walk, treat, or toy, but they can't understand human language. What they rely on to figure out what we mean is our body language. Unfortunately, we can easily send mixed signals if we are only paying attention to what our mouths are saying, and not what our bodies are saying. Embark on a possum experiment by going on a day-long silence with your furry companion. Instead of barking up a storm, communicate solely through your body language. You'll be amazed at how much you speak without uttering a single word, and discover the art of using your wagtastic movements to fetch the desired response from your four-legged friend. Most of us have seen those heartbreaking surveillance videos of lonely dogs mopping around hating life when their families are out. We get that sometimes leaving your pup alone just can't be helped, but also remember that you signed yourself up for some hefty responsibilities when you invited a canine into your home. One of those is making sure that you leave them alone only when it's absolutely necessary, and doing all you can to keep them entertained when you're gone. If you know your dog doesn't dig a certain person or pooch, then try to make arrangements so she doesn't have to deal with them. Of course, this becomes impossible if that other person or dog are family members, or soon-to-be family members, in which case you'll need to seek advice on how to train your dog to tolerate the company of the offending parties. It's important to understand why your dog may be acting this way. Perhaps Aunt Mildred has a distinct scent that rubs your pup the wrong way. Or maybe she unintentionally stepped on your dog's tail during their last encounter, leaving a lasting impression. Whatever the reason may be, it's crucial to identify the root cause of their animosity. Once you've sniffed out the source of the issue, it's time to take action. One approach is to create separate spaces for your dog and Aunt Mildred during family gatherings. You could set up a cozy corner for your pup complete with their favorite toys and treats. This way, they can enjoy their own little doggy den without feeling overwhelmed by Aunt Mildred's presence. Dogs love them some naps. Maybe not as much as cats or grandpa after a huge lunch, but they do enjoy some midday shut-eye, especially if they're getting on in years. So unless you've got a good reason to do it, let your sleeping dog lie. And no, getting all squee because you just watched a hedgehog video does not give you the right to rouse Barkley from his slumber with an ambush hug attack. Some of you aren't going to like this, but it's best to keep doggy dress up to a minimum. Of course, there are circumstances that make protective dog wear necessary, but if you're dressing up Buster as a leprechaun on St. Paddy's Day for giggles, we suggest that you take the costume off as soon as you've captured the adorable moment for your Instagram followers. Believe us, Buster will thank you. Dogs despise the dreaded bath time. But let me tell you, there's something that dogs detest even more than bats, and that's an excessive number of bats. It seems that dog owners have a tendency to go overboard with the suds, which can strip their furry friends' skin and coat of their precious natural oils. Can you imagine? It's like taking away a dog's moisturizing superpower. Now, here's the scoop. Most dogs only need a bath once a month. That's right, just once. Dogs with less oily coats can even stretch it out to a few months without a wash. So, if your pooch isn't emitting any funky odors or rolling around in particularly pungent substances, there's no need to subject them to the dreaded bath ordeal. Don't be too trigger-happy with the shampoo bottle. Give your four-legged friend some breathing room and let their natural oils work their magic. And when the time comes for a proper bath, make it an event worth wagging their tail about. Yelling at or hitting your dog is never okay. Not only is it cruel, but it can also severely damage your relationship with your pet. Dogs are incredibly sensitive creatures, and they will quickly learn to fear and avoid someone who hurts them. If you need to discipline your dog, do so in a calm and gentle manner. Dogs thrive on predictability and routine, so it's important to be consistent with the rules you set for them. If you're constantly changing the rules, your dog will have difficulty understanding what's expected of them. Imagine if every day you woke up to a different set of rules. One day, it's okay for your dog to jump on the couch, and the next day, you're scolding them for it. It would be like trying to navigate through a maze blindfolded while someone keeps moving the walls around. Confusing, right? Well, that's exactly how your dog feels when you constantly change the rules. Although people do this to dogs all the time, a pat on the head is one of the worst ways to greet a dog, especially one who's never met you before. And even if it's a dog who loves you to pieces, have you ever noticed her duck when you go in for that head pat? It's because dogs get defensive when something swoops down towards their head. It's a vulnerable spot, and their instinct is to protect it. Your best bet is to give them a pat on the rump, right in front of the tail. Teasing your dog with food is a surefire way to annoy them. Dogs are serious about their food, and they don't appreciate having it dangled in front of their noses only to be taken away again. If you want to give your dog a treat, just give it to them instead of playing games. Please tell us that you already know it's not cool to do any of the following to a dog: pulling their tails, ears, or other appendages, constantly chasing them, lying in wait to startle them, barking at or otherwise taunting dogs in enclosures, playing merciless games of keeping away their favorite toys. Dogs are some of the most delightful creatures, but sometimes the weird things that dogs do can leave owners scratching their heads. Whether you've got a Pomeranian or a Pharaoh Hound, your dog's behavior can give you a little insight into what is going on in their minds and bodies, as well as providing the whole family with entertainment. From the zoomies to chasing their own tails, dog behaviors can be completely normal, healthy, and an expression of excitement and happiness. Why does your pup have to turn around before lying down? Why do they tilt their heads? What's with mounting inanimate objects? And what on earth is the reason for butt sniffing? It can be quite concerning when your usually placid pal starts sprinting around the house bouncing off the walls. But this is actually a natural behavior for dogs. Zoomies, or frenetic random activity periods, are totally normal and mean your dog is happy, according to the American Kennel Club Association. Zoomies happen due to a buildup of excess energy, which is then expressed. Dogs have some truly odd behaviors that can leave us scratching our heads in confusion. Take zoomies for example. One moment they're peacefully lounging on the couch, and the next they're tearing through the house at lightning speed, as if being chased by an invisible monster. It's still a cute scene though. Dogs don't exactly respect boundaries. This is true whether you're cooking in the kitchen, watching TV, or doing something significantly more personal like going to the bathroom. It can be unsettling to have your dog stare at you as you sit on the toilet, especially if you suffer from bathroom shyness. But there's nothing particularly wrong with the behavior. Dogs just aren't as hung up on privacy as we are. Still, if the idea of a canine audience truly bothers you, there's nothing wrong with closing the door or teaching your pooch to stay when you need to do something personal. It's not that they have a secret fascination with the human bathroom routine. Rather, it's the result of their deep desire for companionship and their need to protect their beloved pack. That's you. And the bathroom buddy routine, with its comic relief and devotion, reminds us that our faithful friends will follow us anywhere, even to the strangest of places. Even more weird is their tendency to lift a leg and lick their privates. There's nothing worse than the background sound of slurping and the view of your dog in a compromising position when you're trying to eat dinner. But this is also an important and totally normal behavior for your canine friend. This is natural grooming behavior and how your dog keeps itself clean, according to the VCA Animal Hospital. Just like generally people wipe after a visit to the bathroom, after a visit to their favorite tree, your dog is likely to want to clean up. If your dog is licking more than usual or the area looks red or swollen, it's a good idea to take your dog to the vet, as they may have a health problem. But as with all things canine, just like a good plot twist, there is always more than meets the eye. And despite the weirdness of it all, we still love them. According to the Humane Society of the United States, there are several reasons for your dog maybe digging up the yard, such as being bored, being a breed that naturally likes to dig, or even because they have seen you gardening. But it is a completely normal, dog-tastic behavior. They might be bored or entertaining themselves, or they may smell something interesting under the ground that they want to get to. In hot weather, your dog might just want a slightly cooler spot to hang on it, particularly if their usual haunts are warmer than normal. You've probably heard of dogs humping people's legs or other dogs. But did you know that some like to hump other things as well? Favorite toys, blankets, and even pieces of furniture are common targets. And the first time you walk in on your dog doing this, it can be a bit disconcerting. As long as it's not done to excess, humping is completely normal. You've just walked through the door and your furry companion greets you with an adorable head tilt that could melt even the sternest heart. But why do dogs perform this captivating move? Dogs often tilt their heads to the side as they try to understand and engage with us when we speak. The head tilt acts as a visual cue that they're tuning in, searching for meaning, and attempting to comprehend the nonsense of our conversations. Dogs have an enchanting way of capturing our hearts through their quirky and also weird behaviors. The head tilt, with its endearing theatricality, adds a touch of canine charm to everyday conversations. Embrace the weirdness and relish the humor. Have you ever taken any notice of your pup's bedtime rituals? Have you noticed that before they lay down to sleep, they often turn around in circles a couple of times? This is quite a common doggy behavior. But why do they do it? According to ethologists, circling is an instinctual behavior inherited from dogs' wild ancestors. In the wild, circling helps dogs create a comfortable sleeping spot by flattening the grass or leaves and removing any potential threats or discomforts. Ethologists believe that this behavior persists in domesticated dogs as an instinctual response, even though it may not always serve a practical purpose in modern environments. The good news is that this is a perfectly normal habit for your pooch. It's simply your pup's way of making sure they find a safe and comfy spot to grab some shut-eye. Dogs inherited this unique skill from their wild ancestors, who needed to be ready for a fight or flight at a moment's notice. But while it may be part of your pet's innate survival instincts, we're sure you can agree that it's pretty darn cute. If your dog kicks back dirt and grass after doing a number 2, You could be forgiven for thinking that they're trying to cover up the mess, but that's not actually the case. Known as scrape behavior, this is a way for your pup to mark their territory. Dogs have scent glands in their paws, and this unique kicking action allows them to spread their signature pheromone on their chosen spot. When it comes to weirdness, dogs take the cake. They have a knack for getting themselves into all sorts of bizarre situations. Remember the time that your dog chased its own tail for hours on end? It's like they were auditioning for a role in a canine comedy flick. And let's not forget about their obsession with sniffing everything in sight. Have you ever wondered why dogs have an uncanny habit of sniffing each other's rear ends? It may seem peculiar or even repulsive to us humans, but this seemingly bizarre behavior holds a wealth of information and plays a crucial role in the intricate communication system of our furry friends. For starters, a dog's sense of smell is incredibly powerful, thousands of times stronger than a human's. Dogs possess an extraordinary sense of smell that far surpasses our own. While humans have approximately 5 million olfactory receptors, dogs boast an astonishing 220 million or more. This remarkable sensory ability allows them to detect scents with unparalleled precision and sensitivity. To put it into perspective, while we may perceive a cup of coffee as having a distinct aroma, a dog can discern the individual components that make up that scent, from the roasted beans to the subtle notes of caramel or chocolate. But why the rare and obsession? Well, firstly, scent glands located in a dog's anal region convey a plethora of information about that dog, from social status to age and gender. This is why dogs are particularly drawn to the area around the base of the tail and the scent-emitting anal sacs. But sniffing isn't just about gathering information. It's also an essential part of a dog's social behavior. Dogs rely heavily on scent to communicate with one another, and butt sniffing is just one way that they get social cues from other dogs. It's essentially the canine equivalent of shaking hands or exchanging pleasantries. But let's not forget that amidst all the weirdness, dogs also bring immense joy and unconditional love into our lives. They are loyal companions who can sense our emotions and provide comfort when we need it the most. Their ability to form deep bonds with humans is truly remarkable and has earned them the title of man's best friend. Dogs may be a little bit strange at times, but that's what makes them so endearing. Embrace their quirks, laugh at their antics, and enjoy every moment spent with these wonderful creatures. It's easy to get swept up by the cuteness of a new dog. You're excited to bring a new furry companion home, and it's tempting to spend days just kissing the new fuzzball and ignoring everything else. After all, there are thousands of videos on the internet that show you what to do. So you can always start the training later, right? But the reality of owning a puppy isn't always so sweet. It's a big job, and new puppy owners aren't expected to get everything right on the first try. Doing what's best for your puppy is your main priority, and you'll do them a favor by avoiding these 13 common mistakes. Perhaps one of the biggest shocks new dog owners experience is realizing their dogs don't come potty trained and command ready. Even dogs that are rehomed and come with some basic training will still need to learn your way of doing things. Every dog needs basic training. Some need more than others, but they all need some. How will it know the rules? What kind of structure and guidance are you providing? Don't think of training as a chore. When done positively, training is fun and enriching for dogs. As a dog owner, you definitely don't want to be scrolling down the street with your furry friend constantly yanking on the leash. It's like trying to walk a stubborn mule. And let's not even get started on the barking. Your dog seems to think they're auditioning for a canine opera, barking at every little thing that moves. It's enough to drive you barking mad. There's a solution to these pesky problems, and it's called socialization. Yes, you heard me right. Socializing your dog is the key to transforming them from a leash-pulling, bark-happy maniac into a well-behaved and friendly companion. Are you one of those people who wait until your dog is sick to go to the vet? Well, you're not alone. A lot of dog owners skip or put off routine vet visits unless something is going on with their dogs. You may think, my dog is healthy and feeling great. Why should I stress him out with a vet visit? Dog owners often want to avoid the cost and inconvenience of a vet visit. Routine wellness exams can allow vets to detect small health issues before they become big problems. These vet visits also help foster the relationship you and your dog have with your vet, making it easier to diagnose and treat illness when it comes along. Between getting their shots and getting fixed, these furry bundles of joy find themselves on a never-ending journey to and from the vet. But hey, If all they ever know is the vet's office, it won't be long before they start associating car rides with being poked and prodded by a stranger in white coat. Talk about a rough situation. You see, during those first few months of vet visits, many puppies develop travel fears that can stick with them into adulthood. It's like they become professional warriors, always thinking that every car ride will lead to another dreaded appointment. New puppy owners can save their furry friends from a lifetime of car ride anxiety by mixing in some fun-filled trips between those vet visits. Imagine the excitement on their adorable little faces as they hop into the car, not knowing whether they're off to get vaccinated or off to have a playdate with their best buddy. It's like a game of pup roulette. Will it be shots or snuggles? The suspense is real. Another thing that people often struggle with is supervision and freedom, controlling a puppy's freedom. When you first get a puppy home, they're often very curious. They want to check everything out. If you have a busy household and a lot going on, it's really easy to kind of forget where they are. A couple of things that we do to help control her freedom is using a long line. When she is out of her crate and she's roaming around the house, she's always dragging a light rope behind her. It's natural for kids to want to cuddle and get overexcited about new puppies, but they still need supervision for their safety and the new puppy's safety. A mistake that many dog owners make is not giving the dog the respect they deserve. Dogs have a line of tolerance that shouldn't be crossed, just like we do. This is especially true for dogs that have been abused in the past. Just like your teeth and nails matter, so do your pups. Some breeds' nails grow thicker and stronger than others, and they must be taken care of to avoid damage to their fate. Their teeth should be brushed several times a day as well to avoid gum disease, teeth rot, and bad breath. There are also many canine breeds that are prone to unusual amounts of plaque. Without taking these simple steps to help improve your pup's oral hygiene, they can be prone to gum disease earlier in their lives. For their nails, regular grooming is necessary, and if need be, you can always go to a professional groomer or veterinarian to clip their nails. One of the biggest blunders you can make is not doing your homework on the breed you're thinking of bringing into your family. Each breed is like a unique little snowflake, so before you go all gung-ho and adopt that adorable pup, take some time to research everything about their breed. And I mean everything. Now, I know what you're thinking. Literally everything? Are you kidding me? Well, maybe not literally everything, but the more you know about a breed, the better prepared you will be. Research their grooming needs, trainability, socialization requirements, and any other quirks specific to their breed. It's better to be over-prepared than to find yourself in a situation where you have to give up your beloved pup because you didn't do your due diligence. It's not fair to you, your family, or the poor pup who just wanted a forever home. Once you embark on the treacherous journey of feeding your furry companion human food, it becomes an arduous task to break the habit. It's like trying to teach a squirrel to stop hoarding nuts or convincing a cat to obey your every command. Nearly impossible. Therefore, it is highly advisable to steer clear of giving your beloved pooch any table scraps right from the beginning. Trust me, it's for their own good. Let them enjoy their own scrumptious doggy delicacies while you savor your human face. It's a win-win situation. Exercise is a basic need for every dog. Lack of exercise can lead to health problems and behavior issues. Some dogs need more exercise than others, but most need more than simple walks. Assess your dog's activity needs. Is your dog restless and bored? Does your dog seem hyperactive and excited all the time? Is your dog overweight? If your puppy has put on a few extra pounds and is starting to resemble a fluffy potato, it's definitely time to get them moving. But exercise isn't just about physical activity. Dogs also need mental stimulation to keep their brains sharp and engaged. So why not make their exercise routine more fun by incorporating games? It's a awesome way to give your dog a well-rounded activity experience. Most times, we unknowingly expose our new pups to diseases. This is a mistake that many new pup owners make, and it is a huge one. A new puppy is like a disease-free clean state. If their vaccines are not complete, you don't want your dog anywhere near where another dog has been. Parvo is one of the many diseases they can pick up. Parvo is transmitted through fecal matter of other dogs and sometimes may result in death. Why do dogs have an inexplicable attraction to potent odors, regardless of whether they are fecal in nature or not? It's a puzzling phenomenon indeed. Not only are they drawn to these strong scents, but they also seem to derive immense pleasure from rolling around in faces. It's as if they believe that the stinkier the aroma, the more prestigious their canine status becomes. Alas, it's a challenge to suppress these innate instincts in our furry companions. However, fear not. vaccines come to the rescue. You start noticing some small quirks in your dog's behavior. Maybe they bark a little too much or chew on your favorite pair of shoes. No biggie, right? Wrong. These seemingly innocent behaviors can snowball into something much worse if left unchecked. Ignoring these issues is like getting a bad joke fester and grow. There's more. Fear and phobias in dogs are often overlooked or brushed aside. Imagine your dog trembling in fear during a thunderstorm or cowering at the sight of a vacuum cleaner. So what's the solution? Behavior modification, my friend. Punishment won't do the trick here. It's all about positive reinforcement and teaching your dog new tricks. Well, before you dive headfirst into the world of dog ownership, take a moment to reflect on the importance of making informed decisions. While it may be tempting to succumb to those irresistible puppy dog eyes, adopting a dog on impulse can lead to a rough situation. Before you unleash your inner dog lover and bring home a new furry family member, there are several practical considerations that must be addressed. Ask yourself if you have enough time in your schedule to devote to a dog's needs. Remember, they're not just for Christmas, they're for life. Make sure you have a budget in place to provide for your new four-legged friend without compromising your own financial stability. Additionally, some breeds are prone to specific health issues, so researching potential health concerns is vital. Now that we have sniffed out the practical considerations, it's time to face the tail-wagging truth. Getting a dog is a long-term commitment. Dogs bring immense joy and love into our lives, but they also require patience, training, and understanding. By taking the time to evaluate your readiness for dog ownership, you can ensure a positive experience for both you and your new furry companion. Dog owners are sometimes guilty of 10 common mistakes that we should all be aware of. We all want to be the best parents to our furry friends, but sometimes we make mistakes without even realizing it. It's time to fetch some knowledge and avoid these common blunders that dog owners often make. In our video guide, we have rounded up the top 10 mistakes that you should be aware of. This brings us to our top bad habit of dog owners, under-exercising. According to a recent survey conducted by a pet insurance company, a whopping 80% of UK dogs are not getting enough exercise. That's rough. It seems like dog owners are barking up the wrong tree when it comes to keeping their furry friends fit. In fact, 1 in 10 dog owners don't even know how much exercise their breed requires. It's important for dog owners to be well informed about their pups' exercise needs. Just like humans, dogs need regular physical activity to stay healthy and happy. Not only does exercise keep those extra pounds off, but it also keeps your pup mentally stimulated. Dogs are intelligent creatures who thrive in mental challenges. When they engage in physical activities like walking, running, or playing fetch, it helps them keep their minds sharp and prevents boredom. A bored dog can become destructive and may resort to chewing on your favorite pair of shoes or digging up your beautiful garden. As a basic rule of law, your dog should be getting at least 20 to 30 minutes of exercise every day. But remember, this can vary depending on factors such as size, age, and breed. Some breeds have boundless energy and need more exercise than others. Whether you have a tiny Chihuahua or a big old Great Dane, make sure to tailor their exercise routine accordingly. So let's get those tails wagging and those paws moving. A rule is a rule, and when it comes to our furry friends, consistency is key. Dogs thrive on routine and clear boundaries, so it's important to establish and maintain consistent rules for their behavior. Just like humans, dogs can become confused if the rules change depending on the circumstances. Imagine you're lounging around in your comfy sweet pants and your dog excitedly jumps up to greet you. You don't mind the playful interaction and allow it to happen. However, the next day, you're dressed in a sharp suit for an important meeting, and your dog tries to jump up again. This time, you firmly discourage the behavior. Your dog may be left wondering why jumping was acceptable one day, but not the next. Don't pull on the leash too much. If your furry friend is tugging on the leash like a determined squirrel chasing its acorn, it's time to teach them the art of walking without pulling. Otherwise, they might end up feeling as frustrated as a dog trying to catch its own tail. When dogs constantly strain against their leash, it can lead to various issues for both the dog and their human companion. From a physical standpoint, excessive pulling can cause discomfort and potential injury to the dog's neck, throat, and spine. It can also result in sore muscles and strained joints over time. Pulling on the leash can also make walks less enjoyable for both parties involved. Instead of strolling leisurely and enjoying the scenery together, you might find yourself engaged in an impromptu game of tug-of-war with your enthusiastic pup. This can be quite exhausting and take away from the overall bonding experience that walks are meant to provide. When it comes to walking our four-legged pals, allowing them to venture leash-free can be an incredibly enriching experience for both dogs and their human companions. Not only does it provide them with the freedom to fully engage their senses, but it also allows them to satisfy their natural instincts of sniffing and exploring their surroundings. Moreover, off-leash walks allow dogs to engage in natural behaviors such as running, chasing, and exploring. These activities not only provide physical exercise but also mental stimulation. Dogs are naturally curious creatures who thrive on new experiences and challenges. By varying the journeys and introducing them to different environments, we are keeping their minds sharp and preventing boredom. The most possum walks are the ones where your furry friend can roam freely, without being held back by a leash. Let your doggies sniffer go wild as they take in all the captivating scents and embark on exciting explorations. It's important to keep things interesting by varying the routes you take during your walks. If you happen to reside in a bustling city, it's crucial to find suitable locations where your canine companions can stretch their legs and burn off some energy. Socializing your dog is an essential aspect of responsible pet ownership. It helps them become well-adjusted, confident, and less prone to behavioral issues. However, it is equally important to recognize signs of aggression in dogs and handle such situations with care and understanding. Forcing a dog to interact with someone or something they dislike can have adverse effects on their well-being and may exacerbate aggressive tendencies. Seek professional guidance when dealing with aggression, and always prioritize the safety and happiness of your furry friend. Let's say you come home after a long day at work, only to find your furry friend has made a mess in the living room. Frustrated, you grab a rolled-up newspaper and give your pup a tap on the nose. While it may seem like a harmless way to discipline your dog, it can actually have long-lasting negative effects on your relationship. As a dog lover, it's important to understand the impact our actions can have on our furry friends. While it may be tempting to resort to punishment when our dogs misbehave, it's crucial to recognize that using force or inflicting pain can have detrimental effects on their well-being and the bond we share with them. You want your furry friend to think of their crate as a cozy den, not a jail cell. It's important to create positive associations with the crate so that your dog feels safe and secure inside it. Using the crate as a form of punishment can have negative effects on your dog's behavior and overall well-being. Instead, focus on making the crate a happy place for your pup. To achieve this level of crate enthusiasm, it's crucial to never use the crate as a means of punishment. Dogs are highly perceptive creatures and can quickly associate negative experiences with specific places or objects. If your dog starts associating the crate with being scolded or reprimanded, they may develop fear or anxiety towards it. Imagine if every time you made a mistake, you were sent to your room without any dinner. You'd start dreading going to your room, right? Well, dogs feel the same way about their crates when they're used as punishment. Remember, dogs are like us in many ways. They appreciate kindness, love, and a good sense of humor. So, let's keep the crate a happy place for our furry friends. At any time of the year, leaving your precious pooch alone in the car is like throwing a bone to dog nappers. Not to mention the danger of an overheating car in seemingly mild temperatures, even with the windows cracked. If you can't bring your furry friend along for the ride, it's best to let them stay home and have a howling good time. Leaving dogs alone in cars can indeed be dangerous and potentially life-threatening. Even in seemingly mild temperatures, the inside of a car can heat up rapidly, leading to heat stroke and other serious health issues for our furry companions. Additionally, leaving them unattended puts them at risk of being stolen or experiencing anxiety and distress. So, whether you're running errands or going on an adventure, it's always best to leave your four-legged friend at home where they can relax and be safe. Throwing treats to motivate good behavior is like chasing your tail. It's fun, but if you go overboard, you might end up in a rough situation. Keep an eye on the scale and sniff out healthier options when it comes to rewarding your furry friend. Treats can be a fantastic tool for encouraging positive behavior in our four-legged pals. Just like a belly rub or a game of fetch, they can serve as a delightful incentive for our canine companions. However, it's important to remember that moderation is key. Just as we humans need to watch our waistlines, our furry friends also need to maintain a healthy weight. When we shower our dogs with too many treats, we run the risk of putting their life at stake. Extra pounds can lead to a whole host of issues, such as joint problems, heart conditions, and even diabetes. So, while treats are undoubtedly enjoyable for our pups, it's crucial to keep their overall well-being in mind. Look for treats that are low in calories and fat, but high in nutritional value. Every pup has their own possum preferences when it comes to collars. For those furry friends with shorter snouts, a collar that only goes around the neck can be quite rough and may lead to serious injuries. In such cases, it's best to put them in a harness for better control. Some dogs, like pugs or bulldogs, have adorable squished faces that make them look like they ran headfirst into a wall. Oops! When it comes to collars, these pups need extra care because a collar that only goes around the neck can put pressure on their airways and potentially lead to serious health issues. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Consult your veterinarian, the ultimate dog expert, to get tailored advice for your fur-like friend. They can assess your pup's specific needs and guide you in choosing the right collar or harness. Additionally, doing some research on reputable sources will help you make an informed decision. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this case, it's also proper protection.